polygamous. Like,
Yeah,
I'm open. What is that?
No, what's mine is mine. I'm not letting someone share you with the world. Like that, if you want to be with the world, you can go to the streets and be there. Like, that's not what I want. Like, not at all. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's just not okay. And a lot of people nowadays are simping out here and they're just falling for this propaganda and, you know, being demasculated. And I'm like, no, that's not okay. Like,
Well, I'm seeing this girl, and then she, you know, he met this guy from sales, and then now he's rearranging her inside. So
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
all good.
all right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Roundtable Talk. All right, today we have Tyler in the house.
What's good?
Hey, what's
Thank
up?
you for
Come on,
having me.
everybody. What's a round of applause up for everyone? Come on. There we go. There we go. Hey, so Tyler is one of the members actually of Roundtable Talk. He's just been kind of absent lately, working on business and stocks and stuff like that. You know, he's a really busy man, but he is here today. So, how's it been going, man?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good.
How's audio? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you pretty good.
We're all gonna need headphones eventually.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
Yeah, but how's everyone's week been going?
pretty good. Got back from a little solo California trip, which is nice.
Nice.
Much needed vacation. So
Nice. How was that?
pretty good. I went to San Diego initially, and then I stayed in San Diego for a few days. Then I drove to LA
Mhm.
and just explored California. It was nice.
Nice.
I don't always go. I have a lot of family there, but I don't go there a lot. But saw some family who live in San Diego and in LA, and yeah, it was a good time.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, I was supposed to make it out there, but
yeah,
things got a little complicated.
It's
so
all good.
yeah.
It's expensive there. Compared to, at least, okay, I'm comparing it to Indianapolis.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
compared expensive to a lot of places.
I went to, I forgot what restaurant it was. It was some Mexican cantina the last day I went to some Mexican cantina in Beverly Hills. And I knew it was going to be expensive, but I didn't realize they were going to charge $11 to $12 a taco.
Wait, what?
And $16 a margarita. And like $10 just for chips and salsa.
Wow.
So I ended up paying about $90 just for 3 tacos, chips and quesadilla, chips and salsa and a margarita.
For yourself?
Yeah, just
Wow.
for myself. I knew it was expensive. I knew it was going to pay a lot. But I saw the bill and I'm like, God damn,
Was it like a high-end taco place, or was it just like?
it was mid. It wasn't like the high end stuff had gold leaf and all that stuff on it. I don't need to go there. So
Hence, that's why people are getting out of California.
yeah.
Main reason.
Is that the
They're
reason
going
why
to
you got out?
From
Texas,
your perspective,
There's
you're from
Texas. They're going to Arizona. They're going to all the places, even the Midwest, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. There's a lot of California people living
Yeah.
here.
You get it. But you're from California, right?
Yes.
All right, what part?
California, Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Nice, nice.
So is Jamar. So it
Yeah.
was
So what prompted the move?
prompted the move. Well, I went to college here. Also wanted to build my career, to look into finance and investing. So Midwest, I think is a good. If you're right, how do you say undergrad? I feel like it seems like Indy would be a good way to start compared to other places, and then eventually expand your network.
Mhm.
And you're in a growing city.
Yes.
Right now, there's tons of development going on, especially in Central Indy. We
Yeah,
were talking about that earlier.
for sure.
With all the crazy amount of development. And Andretti they broke ground, I think, last week
Yeah.
on the complex, so they're moving quick.
Yeah, that hotel across the street literally is like being built like super fast. They're already building foundations and
Oh, that one right behind
Yeah.
the building, yeah.
they start construction and finish it like immediately. It's like overnight. You never see them out there working on it, and then next thing you know, it's like done. It's crazy.
Wow.
Except potholes.
You said what?
Except potholes.
Hey, everywhere else
Yeah.
besides the north side, there's no potholes.
Okay.
This is the only side of town where like if a pothole appears, it's fixed like the next day or two. So that's one good thing about being on the north side. But Indianapolis, it's like downtown and other sides of like town, it's ridiculous, especially downtown.
I've bent 2 wheels already. Just driving through Indianapolis. It
Yeah.
sucks. So, I mean, granted, I also kind of had to come in because I have low profile tires. So that,
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean,
yeah, it is what it is.
yeah. But so
Talk to us about some finance, man.
Talk to you about finance.
Yeah,
What's
what you been
going
up to?
on? So I started my new role, working with high net worth associates.
Okay.
So have high net worth clients, working, assisting to their portfolio, what they need, withdrawals, transfer, and it's been a lot of process and a lot of learning curve, and how much regulations and compliance there are. So I'm just learning those foundational work and strong fundamental work. So there's sales skills required. There's different soft skills and hard skill. When you're at a position, I feel like there's these skills that you need to incorporate to whether it's your hard skill and soft skill.
Mm-hmm.
How does one develop that, like long term?
Yeah.
And each the demands are going to be different. So as a to play it right, how does one we can talk about this as a topic too, like focus and what you should put and focus your energy, because energy is powerful. So
for sure.
we channel our focus in that, and then you want to take it on to talk about how you two deal with that.
So, pretty much, I was just telling Jamar this yesterday. I just dive into it. I cut off all the distractions around me and just focus on it. So I basically trap myself in this box where I don't have any distractions, and I just kind of focus on what's in front of me. So if it's something that I'm working on, I basically leave my phone somewhere else and just keep the tools that I'm using, like my laptop or my computer, because there's no social media or any fun things on those things. So it's there's no distractions. So it kind of helps me stay focused on what I'm doing, and it kind of keeps my distraction levels down, because I don't have access to respond to a text message or go look at TikTok. Which something about that is over the week I actually deleted all my social media. The only thing I have is just the main accounts for all the stuff that we're doing for uploading. But other than that, I have no personal social media anymore. So I'm not getting distracted watching a 20-second video on TikTok or something like that. I deleted all of it, and then my growth was so exponential over the course of time, because my activity levels have been so much better now since I had eliminated all those problems out of the way. Because I was it's kind of getting in the way. Even if it's 10 minutes of my day that I'm taking out to watch some videos on TikTok, that's 10 minutes I could be doing something important. So I kind of just take those distractions out of my life, and so I can focus better more on things that's more important.
Have you read this book called Irresistible by Adam Alter?
Oh, I don't think I have.
And there's one, that book basically talks about how big techs are using their platform to hurting the attention span and our minds. So it's been a book. The guest was on Joe Rogan at one point, and they talked about this and how those distraction it's going to hurt you in the long run because of our attention span and what we can work on. And it's already shown that goldfish attention span is very short, and now humans have shorter attention span than goldfish.
Yeah,
and that's
it's honestly it's pretty bad, because I actually started realizing my attention span has been much better since I deleted my social media, and now I can stay focused longer because there's nothing distracting me from doing what I'm doing. Because when you have for example Snapchat or TikTok, you have the urge to go on there and see what someone's doing, or you have the urge to take a picture of something. I find myself out in the world and I'll see something oh, where's my phone? Let me record this video on Snapchat when I don't have it. So now it's kind of it's weird, because I'm reaching for my phone. I'm I don't have that social media platform anymore. So now it's I'm actually immersed in the world around me, and it's not something that I have to do, in which I kind of find out it's weird a little bit, because we literally focus on our phones to do things in the real world. We see something going on, instead of us just witnessing it, we pull out our phone to take a picture or record a video to send it to someone. We just don't focus on it ourselves. So I did find myself doing that, and I did kind of feel my attention span and focus was very poor. Remembering a number that splashed in front of my face. I was having trouble remembering that, but I was you know what, that's not good. It shouldn't be like that. So I feel I relied on a lot of social media and a lot of things to contribute to that. So I try to stop and cut it out.
In the world of clips getting shorter, Snapchat's 10 seconds a piece per snap, and then you have YouTube Shorts, you have Instagram Shorts, TikTok, all that.
Yeah.
So I think now things were getting shorter and shorter with all these clips, and driving ourselves to shorter attention spans. It's kind of
they compare cell phones and all these apps. It's the modern day cigarette. People are addicted to it to the point where it's just it disrupts your dopamine in your circadian rhythm because
Yeah.
of all these apps. You're getting all those notifications, and if you start your morning with those, you're bombarded with so many stimuli and inputs to the point where it's just like you get a dopamine dump, and the rest is just like
Yeah.
it goes downhill.
That's why my morning rituals, I
It is
changed
important.
them. Yeah.
Talk about morning rituals.
So like I meditate every day now. So when I get up, I meditate for an hour before I get my day started. Then I go to the gym for an hour, and then I still listen to like my daily affirmations and all that while I'm working out. And then I just start my day off with like positivity and like a positive thought mindset, positive thought process on the day. And I kind of not distracted by social media or anything like that, because since it's gone now, I don't go on and check in my feed when I wake up. Because I used to do that. I used to check my feed as soon as I got up. Now I get up, meditate, then I go to the gym, have water, and then I go about my day and like just, you know, focusing on the day task and stuff like that. So I kind of developed this like about 2 weeks ago, I want to say, and I've been on it. I haven't broken ritual yet, so I'm not yet. I'm not breaking the ritual on it. I'm gonna keep on doing that because so far it's been very positive, and I feel like now I have like a better mindset throughout the day, and it's more peaceful, and I feel like I'm more determined to like do things and get to where I'm going. My determination has been much better, and I'm not really distracted what's going on in the world anymore, like with trends and stuff like that. I kind of like I'm focused. I like to call it laser focus. So I feel like I'm more
Flow
focused.
state.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
I've also met a lot of leaders that are incredible leaders because of what they've built in their experience. I've met a lot of people who, if you work through a company, I've met a lot of people who work through companies starting from just doing, say for example, data entry to becoming CFOs.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've met a lot of those leaders who built from nothing to it. There's so many different people and leaders in the world. That
Well, I would say, you know, to rephrase it, because that does make sense. I
Yeah.
would say it's mindset.
it is
Like,
mindset.
yeah, mindset, yeah. Because I don't know, like, personally, I do feel like a lot of the time, school it doesn't, like, necessarily prepare you for the world. It doesn't really
Yeah.
give you the tools that what you're really going to face in real life. Like, it doesn't teach you about, like, financing. It doesn't teach you about, like, taxes. It doesn't teach you about your credit score. It doesn't teach you those, like, hardcore fundamental things that actually affect you throughout life. Like, no one tells you, oh, when you need a vehicle, this is what you're going to have to deal with. Most households in America don't teach their kids about credit scores, you know. Most of the parents don't even know anything about credit scores themselves. So it's like they set their kids up for failure, not teaching them these things. The schooling system doesn't teach them, so they have to find these things out on their own. Like, they get slapped with the cold truth when they get out in the world. It's kind of like, oh, I want to get a car. And you go to try to get a car, oh, your credit score is not there. And they're like, well, how do I get my credit score up? You need to apply for a credit card. Well, how do I apply for a credit card? And then it's like a whole trickle effect. And it's just like,
Learning the hard way.
yeah, learning the hard way. And then they don't know these things. And then, you know, some parents tell your kids, oh, credit cards are bad. Credit is bad. And don't do that. And I'm just like,
Credit is bad for the people that don't know how to utilize it.
credit is like a weapon, a gun. You can buy a gun and use it for good, you know, for shooting at a range, self-protection or whatever, or just a collector's item. Or you can use it for crime, robbing people, shooting people, things like that. Credit is the same way. You can go get credit cards, rack up massive debt, don't pay them, and then go into collections, and then you're in debt. And then your credit gets deemed, and then boom, bad debt. But you can get credit, go get a car, you know, build a business with it or whatever, accumulate good debt, and then it'd be a good thing for you. So it's kind of like a tool, how you use it.
And if you're smart, you know all the perks of using credit, and each of the credit, for example, credit card companies give different rewards for things, for travel, for, you know, and you can take that and reinvest that, or choose to, you know, do whatever with those things. So
Yeah.
credit is a good thing. It's actually, if you're disciplined, you know how to use it, and most, you know, intelligent investors use OPM, which is other people's money, which is all based in credit. And credit, that's a great thing with leverage, and, you know, with debt. The one thing that the rich understand is that the power of debt and leverage is that debt is tax-free.
Yeah, exactly. It's good debt and there's bad
Bad
debt.
debt. Yeah. And
Dave Ramsey punching the air right now.
Yeah.
You know who Dave Ramsey is?
Yes, I know.
I have a love-hate relationship with Dave Ramsey because some of the stuff he says is like straight facts, and some of the stuff he's saying, like, I don't know about that, Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey is the get out of debt guy.
Yeah.
He's not, I don't know, I mean, he is a businessman, but all the money he made from Ramsey Solutions is what he uses to invest. So a lot of people haven't been in that scenario.
Well, he racked up massive debt and got out of it, so that's kind of like what made him the expert in it. 'Cause that's
He went to real estate and
He
he
had to
got
file for
bust.
bankruptcy.
oh, that's
Yeah,
what
He
happened.
filed for bankruptcy because what he did and the way he became a millionaire was he had a lot of debt in rental properties. He took out loans for rental properties, and all of a sudden there was a collapse. The bank didn't like his loan structure anymore. They canceled everything on him, and
So it's like he had, he's playing Monopoly. He has all these house kids, but he doesn't have the cash, and he landed on go to jail, and that's
Yeah.
and he fucked basically.
Yeah, he landed heavily. So
Mhm.
and that's how. And then after that, I guess he preaches no debt.
Yeah.
So I'd say his get out of debt strategy is awesome, but if you want to go super big and in investment strategy, I don't know if he's the guy you want to listen to.
I
Oh, for
disagree on his debt. He says starts with a small bet, like the snowball effect.
Yeah.
Knocks it
Right.
up, but I think tackling the biggest
Yeah,
bet first.
see,
because
yeah.
is that, and I disagree. But how they say Dave Ramsey is more a pre-packaged for not sophisticated investors, but people who want to get the ground rolling. The guy loves mutual funds. Like
Yeah.
he just buy mutual funds. Like for me, my strat, like I don't want to buy mutual funds. Like,
Yeah.
why do I want to let someone manage my funds where I can go and look at the same portfolio of these fund managers that they're investing and buy those same stock on my own?
Yeah.
And then minus the fees, minus the commissions, and I can look and create a portfolio as I need.
Yeah.
I think mutual
So-
funds are very safe. I think you can't really go wrong with mutual funds because I think after 7, I think it was like the statistic was 6 to 7 years, you double your investment or something like that, which is a very, very safe investment portfolio.
Yeah.
So I think if you think about it that way, mutual funds are great for the person who wants to keep it safe, and then until retirement you become a millionaire. That's what you want to do. Good. But if you want to go more aggressively, then there are other forms.
There are other
other
forms,
of
or
investment.
even buy an index fund. You like
Yeah.
why try to buy the whole market on its own? So there's companies like tickers like VOO, like Vanguard, you can BTI that you can buy that buys track the S&P 500, and you can just dollar cost average until you retire, and that's a sure way to accumulate wealth and build it to your retirement.
Yeah. A lot of people, from what I've realized, a lot of people like the safe approach, like Shashir just said, like where they just want to put their money in it and just play it safe. Then you have a lot more people who kind of want to be hands-on and like want to be more invested with like where their money's going, like you. I'm more of the type of person who would like to know where my money's going and more hands-on. I just don't like giving an institution or someone my money just to manage it for me and be like, yeah, we're doing this and this and this. I'm just like, this is money that I'm putting into something, so I'd rather know where it's going and doing with it. So I take that approach as well, but some people who like to play it safe, just let someone else manage it. So
There's nothing wrong with that
Yeah,
at all.
there's
If you're,
nothing wrong with
if
that,
you're content, power to you.
yeah,
That's the way I see it.
yeah,
But those who are not will always seek something better.
That's
For
why
sure.
there's a saying that brokers make you broker. So
Damn.
Brokers make you broke.
I'm just telling the truth. Like, it's like, but that's the thing. The school system doesn't teach you about money. And that's like, if you take the time to study all these things, I'll say it, is that I think in America, I think there's that entitled mindset. A lot of Americans don't want to seek that. And
Yeah.
it's like the knowledge is there at your fingertips. Like we live in an information age.
Mhm.
Like you can access all these content, these books, go on YouTube, listen to some of these investments videos, listen to some of the greatest investors, try to learn what they did. And
Mhm.
if that's free at your fingertips, you can't put yourself in that situation. School didn't teach me. And it's like, stop making excuses and just go seek that, and then the future you will thank you.
Yeah.
And I think, why do you think is it that way?
Honestly, that's a good question. I really don't know what happened. I think over the course of time, just like people got lazy-minded, and just like a lot of people. I really don't know, man. That's a good
Sure.
question.
I'm at a loss, man.
Is it kind of like, you know how boomers are like, oh, I could outwork today's generation?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It's
Can
kind of
they?
crazy. Well, that's the debate, right? Like
Mhm.
that's what they were known to do. They knew nothing else but to work your fucking ass off.
Yeah.
Excuse my language, and continue on to the next day and do something about it.
No, not. You want to know where you work your ass off? Is Japanese culture.
Oh, yeah.
They work
Yeah.
till they die. Like
Yeah.
they drop. That is like the mentality of each country. And I study business and leadership in different countries and different CEOs. But you were talking about leaders and all these entrepreneurs and stuff. And what makes them different is that, but they all have these common characteristics and traits. And that's what makes them successful. Is like study their habits.
Yeah, because that's what I do. I listen to a podcast called Business Movers, and I just listen to like pretty much all of like the collective like groups that they put in there, and like they have people like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, all these people, and they talk about like where they went wrong, how they started off, and then you start to like analyze this, and you start to realize that they all have similar traits, and then you start to realize that, and then you start saying like, you start applying those traits to you. Because if you look at someone else's success story, you can either just say, oh, it's good for them, just move on with life, or you can just criticize them and then just move on with life, or you can sit there and like, if they did it, what's stopping me from doing it? So if you study and analyze it, and you start to apply those traits to your life, find the good ones that led to their success, and start applying that to whatever you're doing. And then I can guarantee you're going to start seeing results, because I've done that. Like over the course of like 2 months, I started looking up like people who I look up to. I went and started studying their like path and like how they got to where they were at, and I started applying those things to my life. And I started to realize this: like most of the people who are the most successful people in the world don't have social media. They're not connected to the internet. They have publicists that manage everything for them, but they're not connected to the world. They're in their own little creative space. So that's why I went and deleted my social media, because it's like, if they have time to focus on all this and not be, watered down with all this BS that's going on in the world, they have more time to focus on their craft. So I applied that. I applied the method of just working constantly, and then taking some time to sleep, because sleep is important, but just constantly working and burying myself in the work. And it's kind of like you said, long-term wealth. It's like, I know that I'm sacrificing time now, but eventually in the future, it's going to pay off, and then I'll have time to sit back and relax and take a little time to cherish what I've done. But if I put all the work and effort into it now, I'm going to have long-term benefits. So it's kind of one of those things where I started looking at that, and then I started applying it to my life and seeing where I can grow and work on my errors. So I believe that if you study people who have high success rates and actually study and see why they do, take those things and apply it to your own life, and I feel like you can start achieving things.
There's a Bruce Lee quote that hits exactly what you said. It's like, take what is useful, discard what is useless, and make it your own style.
Yeah.
And that's the way to approach it. And talking about all of that, studying those habits and make it your own and build upon that. It's trying to automate things in a way.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? It's like you're taking those skills and making it a part of you. It's who you are. It's your being. So it doesn't feel like a task. It doesn't feel like...
It's more of something that you're making your own signature on.
I'm just listening to you guys.
No,
I'm just taking it in.
But yeah, I for sure believe that. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just focusing and growing and, fixing negative areas and putting positive things there, working on that and growing. Definitely I have benefits from that.
What other topics did we discuss earlier? So we talked about investment, we talked about stocks, we talked about on this agenda is that, the habits of these people and what's stopping, we talked about the education system. I think all of these things we're talking about, they're all interconnected.
Yeah.
And you either see it or you don't. You see the code, the control system, and
Matrix, man.
what do you think? It's a rabbit hole you dive in, but once you know it, you know it. And
Once you dive into that rabbit hole, you can't come back out
you
of
can't
it.
come back.
No.
You can't unsee it.
Once you see everything for how it is, you just won't come back. Will I download social media again? No.
And no, I was going to go on that point. You're like, okay, these CEOs, these companies, they don't even have the cell phone. So let me elaborate on that. It's like even, Steve Jobs, I think he didn't even give his kids the iPhone. If these CEOs are not giving the same product to them, so why should you? So another is these, social media apps, Facebook, they won't even give it to their own kids.
No.
And also McDonald's CEO, they won't even feed their own kids with
They don't even
their
eat that
food.
mess.
They don't even eat that shit. So, they're selling you garbage dopamine to disrupt you, to control you. If you understand it's all about, that pleasure, because humans, you become slaves to comfort.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's all business.
It's
Mhm.
all business. It's understanding that and understand why in America it's there's 3 A's. I call it the big A's. It's it's automated. We're trying to automate everything. America's also in abundance. Why do you think we're the number one of the most obese countries in the world? And it's abundance. We need to bigger size, big up this.
Yeah.
We have
Those
so
gas
much.
station drinks.
So we have the big. I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah, those
It's
things
just
are massive. I'm like, how much
diabetes
sugar?
juice.
Yeah, diabetes juice.
It's I call it diabetes juice, and it's just the abundance. We have so much shit that storage warehouse business, and you can talk about this in real estate, is becoming a thing because people don't have room to store their junk to the point that they need to rent a space to store their junk.
Yeah.
You know what the drinks remind me of? Have you guys seen Super Size Me?
Yeah, I have,
Yes.
That's what that reminds me of. The
yeah.
giant ass
Yeah.
drinks, and that's crazy.
He ate McDonald's for a month, and his cholesterol level, he had a.
His liver was turning to fat.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I mean, I go to I guess stop at the gas station in the morning, get gas or something like that. Like at 6 o'clock in the morning, I go in there, and next thing you know, I see somebody waking up with a giant cup of like soda. I'm just like, why are you
They do
starting
that.
your day off with that? Like, what?
NPC, dude.
Yeah, it's just
They're
like-
a fucking
and they're sitting
NPC,
in
man.
line just
Like
drinking
he's
this drink.
fucking knowing it.
Yeah.
Once his high fructose corn syrup, you're drinking genetically modified
Yeah.
corn syrup from Monsanto.
I haven't drank any form of pop or soda. The only time I'll drink any form of pop or soda is if it's mixed with like alcoholic drinks and I'm going out every once in a while. But that's
Yeah.
it. I'll never have a Coke or a Sprite.
I wasn't allowed to drink soda as a kid growing up, and ever since I have transitioned to like adulthood, I still never drank soda. So I thank my
Yeah.
parents for not letting me drink that mess. But
So back in high school, I used to drink a lot of soda and
Mhm.
pop and all that bullshit. And eventually, when I started wrestling, I cut all of that out. I lost about 40 pounds.
yeah,
You're a
it starts
grappler,
coming
dude?
off.
What?
You're a grappler?
I
wrestled?
wrestled. Yeah,
Nice.
I was a big boy. I mean, I was.
Did not know that.
Yeah, so I used to be sophomore year. I was 210, 215 around there, and then by the end of wrestling, I was about 170.
Oh wow.
Nice.
So I went down I was just a fat kid.
Yeah.
So
Could never tell that.
Yeah, so a lot's changed since then. So all for the better. But yeah, about pop and soda, that was a huge contributing factor to me losing that much weight.
Yeah, and it's crazy because if you ever look at like people purchases at the store, what they're doing, it's like this guy was in the line with like that giant cup of soda. Then he's buying a lottery ticket and some cigarettes, and I'm just like, what in the world? I was just like, this is a recipe for disaster. And I'm like trying to judge anyone, but I'm just like, and then these are the same people that's complaining about the government's keeping them down or something like that. I'm just like, no one's keeping you down but yourself.
But
Like,
yourself.
yeah, exactly.
When
Like,
I look at your cart, you know what I see? Like I just like why you're harming yourself. You're buying these drinks, you're buying these sugary drinks, junk food, and I see the companies who own them.
Yeah.
That's Coca-Cola stock, that's PepsiCo, that's, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, buy that, buy that, buy that.
Yeah.
Follow the money. They're
Yeah.
like, people are consuming this, so these companies know the way to hack your dopamine. It's like, and this brings to a deeper freaking question. I'll ask you, if in the long term, if all this control system, this dopamine, country, this dopamine nation, the way they're pumping out, the way pharmaceuticals, healthcare, food, education, all of this, where is this going? And it's where how long can humans sustain this? Where are we going in our generation, and in our kids' generation? Think about it, it's pandemic babies. During that time, or kids who were, did not go to school, were their developmental years. They had to see all this mask thing and not understanding facial. What's that creating?
Yeah.
We got fucked up, bro.
Yeah. It's
Jamar has joined the chat.
these upcoming generations, like, it's going to be ridiculous. Like, I'm scared for the generation that's behind us right now.
You know what today's generation is currently called?
What?
Gen Alpha.
Gen
Alpha.
I'm not joking.
That's not even
Who's
real.
giving this title?
That's not
I
not
don't
alpha.
know.
Title theory?
Alpha my ass.
Oh,
Yeah, they're not. They're flying over like everything. Like, they're so sensitive.
They're changing the language because
Yeah.
if you destroy language, you basically control the
Yeah,
the
they're trying to take away the word man. Like, they're trying to take it out of sentences. Like, mankind. They're trying to take the word man
They're
away.
trying to change
Yeah.
the word recession and depression.
Yeah.
This is what's going on. Even on the Wall Street, they're basically recession is basically 2 consecutive quarters of slow down growth.
Yeah.
Correct. So, but they're changing it to now that we have 2 consecutive
Maxed
quarters
out.
gone
You're
down.
maxed out.
They want to
Yeah,
they
I
want
thought
to change it. They don't want to call it a recession. It's like it's actually if it's 2, it's called a depression. But they don't want to call it.
Yeah.
They want to change the meaning. It's like if it's not a recession in this bear market, then what the you want to call it?
Yeah, no.